Which of the following statements is true in relation to the marginal revenue function of a business in a perfectly competitive market? Is it diagonal, vertical, or horizontal? In order to tackle this question, let's revisit a couple of important concepts used in this question. Marginal revenue refers to the incremental revenue earned from selling an additional unit. This can be calculated by subtracting total revenue of n units from the total revenue of n plus 1 units. N refers to the number of output units here. Let's also remind ourselves of what is meant by a perfectly competitive market. In a perfect market, there are many buyers and sellers of similar size, selling identical or homogeneous products. There is perfect information in the market, so buyers know all products that are available and all the sellers of that product. The price is set at the equilibrium by the forces of supply and demand, so no individual supplier has any influence over the price, meaning that they are price takers. This essentially means that they can't charge a different amount to that set by the market. So the price is fixed. So what will this mean for marginal revenue? I worked out a table for you to understand marginal revenue's behavior with the increase in sales. Let's look at the product with a selling price of $2 and see what happens to total revenue and marginal revenue at different quantities under these perfectly competitive conditions. The selling price of 1 unit is $2, so total revenue is $2 and the marginal revenue is also $2. For 2 units, the price is still $2, so the total revenue is $4, and the marginal revenue, being the price of 1 additional unit, is once again $2. Remember that they are price takers, so the price per unit of $2 never changes. This pattern continues at all quantities, so the marginal revenue also remains at $2 at all quantities. On a graph, it would look like this. We have quantity on the horizontal axis and marginal revenue on the vertical axis. Marginal revenue is $2 at all quantities, so the line is horizontal. The correct answer, therefore, is the horizontal line on the graph. Just take note of the importance of reading the question properly. This question refers to marginal revenue. The common mistake, however, is to fail to notice this and assume that question is talking about total revenue instead, which, as you can see from the table, would result in a diagonal line. A vertical line may be chosen incorrectly if the axes were labeled the wrong way around when plotting the marginal revenue on the graph. Therefore, taking the time to read the question's rubric properly will help you to avoid these errors.